Welcome back, anyone and everyone, to another edition of Wolfman Licks, Wolfman Reviewing Spirits in Good Spirits. And if you remember from our last episode, this time around we're going to give this Hatozaki, Japan's finest whiskey, a day in court. See how that goes. And but before we get started, of course, we need to get to a fact. And I got a really cool fact. I know I have a continuation from the last episode. I'm going to do that on the next one, I promise. But this time around, I wanted to give you something really kind of cool that kind of ties in to the review today. And that's this a Japanese fact and how Japanese whiskey got started. All right. So with that being said, here is our fact. So Japan's first true whiskey distillery opened in 1923. It was the first operating facility in Japan. All right. So this was made possible by a business relationship between two men, a Mazataka Taketsuru, who spent time traveling and living in Scotland. He actually worked at multiple distilleries there. You know, in Scotland they make scotch, right? Then he did multiple internships at these different distilleries to learn how to make scotch. And he lived there for quite a while, quite a few years. And then he moved back to Japan and wanted to take that knowledge and bring it to Japan and start making, Japanese scotch or whiskey. And in order to do that, though, he needed a little bit of help. So he ran to another guy, or better yet, this other guy sought him out. And this guy's name is Shinjiro Tori, who wanted to make authentic Western-style whiskey. And he had already been making, at this point in time, he'd already been making a sweet fortified wine that he spent a lot of money into the marketing aspect, and it was doing, fairly well for him, which was great because his, hidden agenda was to make more whiskey, and he needed money to do that or make Japanese style whiskey. And so he made that sweet wine. It did well. He sold it, and then he met this other guy, the Taketsuru, sent for him, or they hooked up, and then they opened up their first distillery, in Japan in 1923. So there you go. There's the history on Japanese whiskey, and this guy's part of it. And we're going to check out this bottle. So I'm not going to try and say that name. I probably slaughtered all the other names, and I've got a few more to go. So here we go. We're going to look at the bottle, see what it says, right? And this one does have a story. So this is the Kyoko Distillery, Akashi City, Hyogo, in some damn family. And this was a distiller since 1917, product of Japan. I know I said it was in 1923. It is. So this is different kind of a thing, right? We weren't making real true whiskey at that time. They were making other stuff. And evidently this falls between the middle somewhere. I don't know. We're going to find out. So anyway, back of the bottle. The Hatozaki Lighthouse, the oldest stone lighthouse in Japan, has been a guide for sailors navigating the turbulent waters before the port of Akashi since 1620. It is a symbol of dependability, openness to the wider world, and trade, which enables the exchange of goods and ideas. We chose this lighthouse, which stands so close to our distillery, as the perfect icon to represent our whiskey, a product of Japan. All right, so there you have it. So we're going to give this guy a day in court on a scale of 1 to 10. And our shot glass happens to be from Japan, from a very good friend of mine. She's a Mammalian. I'm Wolfman, and then Mammalian was in Japan, and she brought this back for me. So, haha, and thank you. And here's a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, no. Oh, okay. What am I tasting? Sadness. Sadness hits me immediately. It's still there. I mean, on the back of my palate, I taste regret. There's anger, disappointment, and on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, this is my first Japanese finest whatever the hell this is. Whiskey, sorry, no offense. I know there's people out there that love this stuff. Good for you, man. There's gonna be more for you. I mean, really, the aftertaste is awful. It's terrible. Um, Scale of 1 to 10 Japanese whiskey, you get a 0.2. So there you have it, a 0.2. For this guy, day in court. Man, this is tough. You guys really need to appreciate what I'm doing for you. I'm serious as all hell, and we're coming back to the United States. We're going to give this Noble Oak double oak bourbon a day in court. But thank you for tuning in. Remember, bourbon's supposed to be fun, enjoyable, same whiskey and alcohol. That was not. Stay groovy, and we'll see you next time. Wolfman out.